For example, for Simon, we did this exact same strategy, and then all I added is a little extra, which I said, present it using a VSL, video sales letter, really agitating the pain. That was it. The cool part is not only does it give you the offer, it'll then give you the language in the script to use on the call with your potential buyer that really gets them connected to the pain and excited to buy from you. And as I mentioned, for each new prospect, you just start a new chat and you just upload the new information from your CRM and just ask it to do that same thing with the prompt. That way you'll have a customized personal proposal for each new sales call you've got booked in your calendar. Now I said, okay, bro, why don't we just open up ChatGPT, ask it the questions and say, hey, here are the objections I'm getting. This is the offer. Can you give me questions to help the person see why the product or the service is valuable to them? And we hit enter and it just went, it gave him 5 objections and 5 questions and talk tracks to respond to each objection. He said, whoa, number 3 is really cool. I said, check this out. Give me 10 more. Enter, 10 more objections. Questions asked, talk tracks to guide the person to make the decision themselves. To me, Jake is the human. AI is there to give Jake new information to help the human. That is how sales is completely changed. To me, I'm always trying to help somebody understand the pain they're currently in, the potential future that they want, and then I'm walking them across that bridge, them hand in hand, because they want to make the decision, but they're scared to do it. So here's how you can use AI every day to get better at objection handling. This is a crazy story. I have a CEO in one of our companies called Revio. They do a CRM for sell by chat using AI. He had on his homepage where anybody could book into his calendar. At one point, he's doing 50 hours a week of sales calls, but only 5 were with qualified buyers. All we did was use youratlas.com so that when people went to book in, it would first call them to qualify them to make sure they were even in the realm of a potential buyer, and then only let those people book into his calendar. That bought him back 95% of his week so that he could focus on product and growth. I look at AI kind of like my spam filter in my email. It has the ability to block junk from entering in my calendar in the first place and fills it only with high intent leads. Now that AI has given you a list of real prospects, the next step is making sure conversations actually turn into customers. That's where qualifying comes in. Qualifying is double clicking on the person to see if they actually have the pain that your service can solve for them. The biggest mistake that people make in sales is to think everybody is a potential customer. Even if I've got the AI to create a leads list, it doesn't mean they're the right people. And for what it's worth, having somebody do a ton of sales calls and use that as like a metric of success. I did 300 calls today. When they're calling people that could have never bought, should have never bought in the first place, that's a vanity metric. I want to make sure that they're only reaching out to qualified people because that's what matters. Now here's a pro tip. A lot of new people starting in sales, the person goes, just send me a proposal. And they're like, okay, here you go, attachment. Are you interested? No, they're not. So the trick is never send a proposal. Always schedule the call to review the proposal. The reason that call works better is because there's a human to human conversation and you can hear in their voice if they've got concerns. You can ask them about some of the objections they brought up, and you can also get a commitment on the call, which you're not going to get over email if you just send a proposal. That's why we want to highlight your humanity where it counts and use AI to do all the stuff that you don't need to be involved in. Problem is buyers don't buy features. They buy solutions. They buy benefits. And too often people are stuck just presenting a bunch of crap that doesn't tell them how it's going to impact their life. Then my buddy Simon, who has this software called Hello Frank, it's an AI for financial services, used it, the exact prompts I'm going to teach you, to present an offer in 7 minutes that generated over $100,000 in sales because it agitated the pain. It had a clear value proposition. It was so easy to understand. It was literally like the person goes, ouch, yes, thank you, credit card. When you can describe your customer's pain better than they can explain it to you, you instantly become the expert and they're gonna wanna buy. So here's how you do it for yourself. For example, there's an AI company called Fixer that went from 1 million in annual revenue to over 10 million in just the last 5 months. That's $27,000 per day. This opportunity is massive. Now, as I promised you at the beginning of this video, let's do the first step of the AI startup ladder together. The business I would pick to start this year, drum roll please, the AI inbox and calendar manager. That was all AI. Isn't that freaking crazy? Like human level conversation. I gave it objections. I told it times. It confirmed the call and it's going to send me a text message. I mean, it's wild. There's no way businesses don't buy that. So now I want to teach you the AI startup ladder because these are the exact steps you're going to want to go through to actually start your AI company. Now I understand this can sound a little bit crazy, but I'm going to show you through an example. Okay. So there's a company called youratlas.com, which is essentially an AI appointment setter. You can go to the website right now and try it out for yourself. When you come in, they actually prompt you to do a demo. Hey, let's try it out, which I love. You just put in your information. I'm gonna put Dan Martel. I'm gonna give it my email address and I give it my phone number. And then I just say, talk to the AI. Now it's gonna call me, happen in real time. I accept and listen to this. What AI business has the highest income potential today? As someone who's made millions with AI products in my company, Martel Ventures, I'm gonna show you the 5 AI businesses I'd build if I was starting from scratch with 0 employees. I'll even show you how you can start any of these businesses with a simple 4-step process. And at the end, I'll actually pick one and walk you through the first step myself. I'll also break down the cost, effort, and income potential for each one of them. This isn't some get rich quick bullshit. These are real money-making opportunities you can start today. So let's dive in. Number 5, one of my favorites, the AI appointment setter. Essentially, businesses are gonna pay you to take the inbound calls, put AI in the middle, and get them setting appointments so they can get sales. It's such an easy thing to sell because essentially you're taking somebody that's full-time that costs money to answer that phone for a fraction of the cost to actually perform better than they can. So the coolest part is the cost is low for you to get started because it doesn't cost anything. The effort is medium because you do need to learn some new skills like a little bit of sales and a little bit of configuration, but the potential is massive. Literally, you could be making $500 to $1,000 a day easily just by talking to businesses that want to make more money. The best part, you could be making $3,000 to $5,000 a day helping these CEOs buy back their time. The last thing that entrepreneurs and CEOs want to do is manage their own friggin' inbox in their calendar. It's like having somebody come in and automate 95% of that is gonna feel like the most powerful thing that's happened to their life, and you get to be the person to do that. Cool part is the cost is actually low because it doesn't take a lot to set this up. The effort is medium because you are gonna have to sit down and work with these CEOs to understand their workflows. But the best part, you could be making $3,000 to $5,000 a day helping these CEOs buy back their time. This opportunity is massive. If you're in the content game in general, this one's for you. Now let's get into the biggest opportunities of the next decade. Number 3 is AI sales chatbot. This is where you help somebody set up an AI chatbot that takes all of their chats. I'm talking social media chats, text messages, emails, all the platforms, and converts those conversations into sales for the business. It's a no-brainer. I wrote a book called Buy Back Your Time. This one is the nearest and dearest to my heart. It's also the thing that I recently paid for somebody to work with my assistant to buy back 92% of their time managing those 2 areas of my life. So here's how I would do it. I'm gonna call somebody. I actually know they have an assistant. I don't know how good they are. I don't know if they're happy with them. And I'm gonna walk you through how I'm gonna identify the pain, figure out the cost that they're willing to associate to that pain, and then offer them a solution that costs less than what they're paying for today. It's wild. I literally know hundreds of people that make tens of thousands of dollars every month doing this for businesses. There's so much content being created and it's generating followers and even chats in the social platforms that most business owners don't have the time to actually respond to people. So what you do is you create an AI chatbot that takes that conversation, turns it into a sales conversation, and takes those follows and turn them into leads for the business. This isn't some get rich quick bullshit. These are real money-making opportunities you can start today. So let's dive in. Number 5, one of my favorites, the AI appointment setter. The coolest part is the income potential is $750 to $1,000 a day. It's kind of crazy because there's a freelancer I know that used an AI tool to scale podcasts to shorts. That was their service, and now earns $30,000 a month from only 7 clients. We're living in a world where the amount of content and the desire to get a message out there has just scaled. And we live where there's this thing called interest media, not social media, where the algorithms are trying to find niche content to serve those people. And somebody that can take all that information a business is already producing, I'm talking like Zoom calls, podcasts, long form, and trim it down into short form and manage the publishing schedule, they're gonna be in so much demand. The income is so high because it's such a unique process. So when then you come in, it feels like free money to them. So they're willing to pay more because they're not replacing you for something else. They're essentially starting to do something they weren't doing. So for example, there's a product called GetRevio that went from $0 to $60,000 per month in under 7 months, taking advantage of this chat economy. That's $2,000 a day. You can use their product to serve your customers or build something custom, but this world is not gonna go away, and it's an opportunity anybody can take advantage of right now. Number 4, AI content repurposing service. Essentially, companies will pay you to take like long form video content like podcasts or webinars or maybe some YouTube videos they're doing, and then repurpose them as short form clips on all the different platforms like TikTok, Instagram, YouTube Shorts, so that you can get them more reach and eyeballs back to the long form content to get them sales. Now the effort is also going to be medium because you're going to have to learn some unique skills to that kind of cleanup and processing for searching, but the income potential is really high, like $1,500 to $3,000 a day, because now you're getting into the business consulting space where you're helping a business owner understand their business, where they can make better decisions, and those decisions could save them $50, $100, $1 million a year. And the cool part is you're also now starting to sell to like bigger companies that have more money to invest in making their operations better. And all I did is very simple. I nailed the problem, and then I talked about the potential, I quantified it quickly, and then I said I had a solution that would solve the problem the way they explained to me they wish it was solved for them. From that place, I schedule the next call. It gives them time to think about it, and I can come in with a demo, just like the one I showed you, and they go, wow. AI today, when it works well, it feels like magic. The customers won't even believe it when you show it to them. A lot of that stuff that you're managing, does that come through your inbox? Like a lot of communication goes through inbox?
100%.
And if that was like absolutely dialed in and you could think about like what that future would look like, what do you think the gap in opportunity is? Not necessarily just the time, but just like having the time, the mental load not there, like just what's that worth to you?
For me, saving 5 to 10 hours a week is worth. And so at least 10 hours a week of that stuff that I wish I didn't have to deal with.
Wow. So if you're saying 10 hours a week at thousands of dollars, at minimum 10,000 a week, it would be the upside and the potential of what you don't have today.
Correct.
Crazy. All right, what I've been working on this new offer that's essentially an inboxing calendar manager that takes exactly what you're saying is stress points and actually gets this automated for you so that you don't have to think about it. And the coolest part is I train it off of you and what you know so that it acts just like you, so that you don't have to be involved, but it does the thing the way you would want to do it. Does that make sense?
Like it deals with my ideas.
It's crazy. Yep, all of it. Yeah, because it can learn everything from your inbox. Your calendar has all the data. I'm assuming you have things scheduled there. So it can learn from your calendar, it learns from your inbox. And then the best part is that it doesn't do anything until you train it. But once it's trained, it actually works just like you would without you being involved. You are the expert. You might think everybody knows AI right now. Trust me, they don't. And if they do, their number one bottleneck is having anybody on their team that knows how to do this stuff, and they're willing to pay top dollar for that. For example, my friend Matt built a company called Precision.co that scaled from $0 to $700,000 in 7 months using this process. And again, to be successful, run through the 4-step process in the AI startup ladder so that you get paid upfront before you build anything. Now, I know this is a little overwhelming, and there's a lot of options on what kind of businesses to start. But the key is to look at your situation. Ask yourself, like, what business do you find the most fascinating? What do you inherently enjoy? And pick one and go all in. Follow the AI startup ladder. Validate. Pick up the phone. Call. I'm telling you, that is the skill. AI can give you answers, but it can't do the action for you. You need to be the one to find the customer, validate, sell, and use that money to build out the business. If you want to learn the 15 AI tools you need to build $1 million business, click the video and I'll see you on the other side.
What would it be like if we could enable small businesses and especially local businesses to use AI? Let's take a look at what it might look like at a company that makes and sells t-shirts. I would love if An accountant working for the t-shirt company can use AI for demand forecasting. Say, figure out what funny memes to print on t-shirts that would drive sales by looking at what's trending on social media. Or for product placement, why can't a front of store manager take pictures of what the store looks like and show it to an AI and have an AI recommend where to place products to improve sales? Supply chain, can an AI recommend to a buyer whether or not they should pay $20 per yard for a piece of fabric now, or if they should keep looking because they might be able to find it cheaper elsewhere? Or quality control, a quality inspector should be able to use AI to automatically scan pictures of the fabric being used to make t-shirts to check if there are any tears or discolorations in the cloth.
Essentially, to start, just go back and run through the AI startup ladder and it'll crush for you. So far, we've covered calls, content, and even chat. Now let's talk about cleaning up the data and getting paid for it. Which brings us to number 2, an AI data cleanup agency. Essentially what you do is you offer the service to clean up the internal information within a business, because right now, most businesses, they have like this messy, crazy collage of information. They have everything from their emails to the relationship software for their customers, spreadsheets that are essentially running departments. Imagine if somebody could come in, clean up all that information, put an AI on top of it so that the business owner can ask a question about their business and get the exact quality answer.